Boo.
It is Sunday night, my favorite night of the week. We have Nette up here. She's having a little bit of internet
Mine
issues,
too.
but she's hanging in here with us.
Yep.
All right. So we have Lucky Dog Productions moderator Sue, who made it in here first. We have Little Bit Crazy. We have Donald McLuff. I cannot say the last name right. We'll all just laugh at me for that one. I apologize. I look forward to Sunday nights too. We have James Katniss. We have Nomadic Hippie.
Yep.
K&R Destination. Happy Place Camping. Our Epic RV Adventure. Our Epic has been putting out a lot of really good videos. So if you haven't gone over there in a while and checked them out, go check them out. Our Epic RV Adventure. K&R says, beautiful ladies.
Yeah.
That is really beautiful, isn't she? We have 50 Angela, and she said it is an NOTB raid. Thank you, Nursing Our Travel Bug, for raiding us over here. Okay, so we do spooky stuff and we do true crime, and every once in a while we cover some cases that are heartbreaking and sad, and I think tonight is going to be one of those cases. But I think, and Eddie and I have talked about this a bit, I think talking about the sad cases brings attention to the victims. It continues their story. Their story didn't stop just because this happened to them. People still get to know them through us talking about this stuff. So this is going to be a sad story tonight, but I think it's important to talk about it.
Exactly.
All right, so let's jump in, and we are going to talk about the tragic Bever family murders. All right. Oh, it's just playing all on its own. So I'm guessing that is a nice house. Very nice house.
It's a pretty nice house.
I love the shape of it. It's really nice. Hey, Hitch Up in Tow. And there's a travel bug. All right. Hey, Jerry Holly. It's a really nice house. Really nice.
It was in a really good area.
I'll let you go ahead and do this one if you want.
Right around midnight, between July 22nd and the 23rd in 2015, a call came in to 911 dispatch in Broken Arrow, Oklahoma.
Fantastic Travel says, it looks like a creepy house. I'm sure it's probably creepy now. You said it was in a really nice area, Nettie?
Yes.
All right. But there was no sound on the other end of the line. Out of caution, first responders were sent to the Indiana Hills address. Upon arriving, they found a great deal of blood on the front porch.
Inside, they could hear a girl's voice screaming, "Save me, save me." So they rushed inside. The 13-year-old girl had been stabbed repeatedly. Her throat slit, but she clung to life.
My goodness.
Sad.
Crystal Bever. As they searched the rest of the house, police discovered a scene out of a horror movie. Blood was everywhere.
First, they found 12-year-old Daniel Bever dead from multiple stab wounds. The mother of the family, 44-year-old April Bever, was also dead. She endured 48 stab wounds. Her husband, 52-year-old David, was dead from 28 stab wounds.
The mom had 48 stab wounds and the dad 28. Jeez. Someone was angry.
Crazy. Mm-hmm.
Happy Place said, wow, not personal at all. Yeah.
Yeah.
Parents. Our Epic said, that's a lot of stab wounds. It really is. And I saw Full-Time Dream pop in here too. So hello, Full-Time Dream. All right, inside a bathroom were 7-year-old Christopher and 5-year-old Victoria, huddled on the floor, also dead from multiple stab wounds. My goodness. I can't imagine. I don't know this story, just so everyone knows. We're going through it. I don't know this story. I can't imagine the type of person or what somebody would have to be thinking to stab a child multiple times. I just can't. I can't fathom that. Stab anybody, but especially a child.
It's insane. Yeah.
I mean, look at those little kids. They just, I don't get that. Nursing or Travel Book said, that is so sad. You have to be a sicko to be so cruel to kids. Yeah. I can't imagine. The youngest of the Bevers, a 2-year-old girl, was thankfully
the youngest of the Bevers.
Go ahead. You read it. You.
Was thankfully alive and unharmed as the officers continued searching the scene. They spotted 2 figures running out the back and into the woods behind the house.
Our Epic RV Adventure said, like HPC said, it was personal. The worse the crime, the more personal it is, generally speaking. Yeah.
Yeah.
Autumn. Autumn was not harmed. Jerry said, if I was your kid, you might change your mind, Beyond Beauty. Police dogs quickly cornered the 2 16-year-old Michael Bever and 18-year-old Robert Bever. The 2 were splashed in blood and wearing Kevlar vest On the way to the police station, the brothers were silent and emotionless. Oh my goodness. First of all, they had a lot of kids. That's a lot of kids for one family.
Yeah.
Tommy said, maybe it was an acrobat instructor because who has the energy for all that, right? That is a lot. The energy it must have taken to do what they did, plus just so graphic. Sorry, I was catching up on these over here. All right. Oh. Is that what he looked like that night? What the heck?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. He's like smiling. Sorry, I'm going back just a little bit. Again, let's check his face out. He's kind of got like a grin. Oh.
Pretty crazy.
My goodness. Oh, cheers. It's yours, Nettie. You gonna read this?
I can't see it yet.
Oh, okay.
Okay. There wasn't much to learn about the Bever family. Neighbors described them as secretive. 6 of their 7 children were homeschooled and not allowed to play with other children.
Unusual for brothers to commit a crime against the whole family unless there was some serious trauma. I'm unfamiliar with this tragedy, but by those pictures, I'm sure he was involved. Yeah, I didn't get a chance to make the video yet, but I do want to make one on the Menendez brothers because they, for years, have been deemed as spoiled and did the crime for, because they were spoiled and wanted their parents' money. But apparently that's not at all the case, and there's been evidence all along against that. So it kind of goes along with what you were saying. There's probably some tragedy, trauma that happened here. But I guess we'll find out. I still don't think that is okay to kill your brothers and your sisters, though. Hippie says, definitely deranged beyond deranged. Happy Place. I actually watched something on this the other day. The younger brother had called 911 and could barely speak. It was so chilling to hear him talk. One of the killers took the phone, and when dispatch asked who he was, he hung up. Oh, fantastic travels. Thank you so much. That's very kind of you. I actually wanted to mention your painting.
Thank you.
Your hummingbird painting is beautiful, by the way. That would be a great video. Mendez tragedy was huge. There's that. Yeah, there's been a lot of stuff that's come out on that recently, and I do need to get that video up and going. I actually, sorry to interrupt, I vape. Most of you know that. But I used to vape a 3 milligram nicotine level. And as of this past week, I am on 0 nicotine with my vape now. So I am completely off nicotine, and I am so excited about this. All right.
Yeah.
I'm
Awesome.
almost all the way quit. All right. Let's keep going here.
That's great news.
Thanks, everybody. They had a lot of children. I don't know. I don't know how you could do that to those small children.
Yeah.
Thank you, everyone, so much. Donald said their father had a gun collection and different weapons collections. Their father had also installed a security system that included cameras pointed both outside and inside the house. But despite their strict isolation from the real world, there was apparently very little protection from the internet. Dissociation, said our epic RV adventure. Yeah, probably. Can you see it yet?
There was a lot of computers. Yeah. There were a lot of computers in the Bever home. Michael and Robert had 2 laptops each. It was likely stories on the internet that fed Robert's obsession with the mass murderers like Eric Harris and Dylan Calbald, the Columbine shooters.
Well, apparently we had to spring it forward. But I'm confused because I didn't change any clocks. my phone and my clocks just I guess they all change automatically because I didn't change any clocks, but I still made it here on the right time. Oh, thank you so much, Oracles and Beyond, for sharing. And KNR, I am down to a 0 nicotine on vaping, which is my last step before completely being done altogether. So. Hippie says, laugh like that one more time. I need to learn that mannerism. Please laugh one more time. You know, Bulldog told me I didn't laugh good enough at his joke earlier. He said I need to laugh like a guttural, deep laugh. So I gave him a guttural, deep laugh, and he said I sounded evil and never to do it again. So, all right. I think we just lost Nettie for a minute. Maybe she'll pop back in. Let me see what this says over here. She said I can't hear you. So maybe she'll pop back in. Let's. I'm proud of you. I don't smoke, but I love black coffee. That laugh was almost as great as Susan's snort from New Horizons. Okay, let's keep going here. Oh, no. Well, that's not good. All right, here we go. Michael and his surviving sister both testified that Robert talked about them and other mass murderers constantly, and he was doing more than just talking. Oh, no. Fantastic Travel says that she quit smoking and quit vaping. Quitting vaping was tougher. Hitch Up and Toe said, I'm on 0 nicotine now and have only gone through 3 keyboards this stream. I think my fixation, like is more the like the act of vaping or the act of smoking versus being addicted to the nicotine. So that, I think, is going to be the hardest part to break. All right. Nursing Our Travel Bug said premeditation. Well, it looks like it because it says that they were watching the Columbine murder stuff and really liked it. KNR, thank you so much for posting that. Smash that thumbs up. Show the beautiful ladies some love. Share this live stream out. It would greatly be appreciated. Also, if you have not hit that subscribe button, go ahead and hit it now. Yes, Nettie is here. She's in the chat. She's having some internet issues, but better to have internet issues and travel and enjoy this beautiful world than to be stuck online all the time and just do nothing. I'm excited that she's having bad internet because that means she's out traveling and enjoying the world. Nursing Our Travel Bug said, BB3, I don't think I've ever seen you in glasses before. Oh, well, thank you. They said you look so cute. That's very kind of you. You have to find other things to do and not hand to mouth like snacking. Yeah, I'm actually going to be having a surgery. I know I haven't talked about my health. I feel so wrong in the middle of this. But I actually am going to be having a surgery, so I'll be away from the internet for a little bit of time in about a month and a half, at most about a month and a half from now. But I had to quit vaping altogether, quit nicotine, all that stuff. So that is what I'm doing. All right. Let's keep going on the story here. Oh my gosh, for some reason, whenever I hit play, it is resetting it back. 1 second. Let's play it through. Hey, Johnny's Journey. That's what I was trying to say. I'm getting nervous and mumble my words a lot, but what Jerry said, I'll take the bad internet and the travel. Yeah, I would much rather have bad internet and be traveling than be here at home on my computer. Not that I don't love all of you. I love all of you, but I really want to travel like a lot of you do. Donald says, please take care of yourself. You're wonderful. Oh, thank you, Donald. All right. He was always doing more than just talking. Let's see if I can. Here we go. Once in the interrogation room, Michael told police that he and Robert had begun collecting knives they purchased on the internet. Robert also purchased a full suit of Kevlar body armor with the money he earned working at a Christian call center. Oh my. Oh my. You know you have no shame, no guilty conscience, no conscience if you earned your money at a Christian call center and you went out and bought body armor and were planning this whole thing. Like there's something seriously wrong upstairs. Michael could only afford a vest. Robert, Michael said, had begun keeping a journal where he wrote down his fantasies of becoming an infamous killer. Nettie says, I know, right, BB? Yeah, I mean, that's like going to church and, I mean, I'm sure they were dealing with Bible. I can't. I don't understand this one. This one's blowing my mind. Nursing Our Travel Bug said sociopath for sure. Definitely. Our Epic said he was probably made to work in the call center. That's true. He might have been made to work there. Very true. So that he wasn't exposed to anything outside in the bad world. Let's keep going. Robert would say and write that he hated people, that society was worthless. So the two started making plans to go on a killing spree from Oklahoma to Washington State, killing randomly as they went. Nettie said he was the oldest and younger brother looked up to him, Michael. Tommy Treble says, what's nice is that they can't fire you at a Christian call center. They have to forgive you. I wonder how that works. For real. I wonder if they have to forgive you or if they can fire you. I bet you get a lot of chances. I mean, this guy was a killer working at a Christian call center. So, I mean, and a kid nonetheless, because he was a kid. I don't know. I don't understand this. I can't wrap my brain around this one. I'm having a hard time understanding it. Oh, there we go. White power on top of it all. Great. Lovely. I guess the internet definitely did no favors for this kid. Nomadic hippie. Isn't it true that something like there at any given moment there are 2,000 serial killers at any one time across the United States that are active? Whew. I don't know. But that's scary. Hi, Angela. I have to go walk the dogs, but I'm still listening. Well, thanks for listening, Thrifty Angela. And these are his drawings, said Nettie. I'm going to say they can fire you, but you probably get like 70,000 chances, says our epic. All right. Here he's an assassin. My hero, that one said. James Holmes. James Holmes is this kid's hero. My Lanta. Jim Jones, I think, was what the other one said. Let me watch on this screen. Hey, Maggie. Jim Jones. Yeah, that one's such. Isn't that just crazy? Maggie 2263. Hello. All right. Their ultimate goal was to kill 50 to 100 people. So Robert ordered several guns and ammunition online. The guns he would pick up at a local gun store, but the ammo was going to be delivered to his home, which would arouse suspicion. Hey, Paranormal Reacts. Welcome to the chat. Did he really do this because he didn't want his family to see the bullets that were getting delivered, the ammunition? So Robert decided that they needed to get rid of their family the day before the ammo was to arrive. Oh my God. It would also, according to Robert, let him start their spree with a high count. Are you kidding me right now? Oh. He killed his little brothers and his little sisters so he could get his ammo delivered to go on a killing spree. There's something very wrong here. Very, very wrong. Robert was the influencer, says Nettie. And big shout out to MelNetteLivingFreeZipCodeless. If you don't have her, the link for her channel is in the description below. Go check her out. She puts together these videos and does all the research on this, and I absolutely love it. Paranormal Reacts said, Robert seems like a sketchy guy. Yes, Robert is very sketchy. A kid murderer, serial murderer, I guess is what we would call him. They something their family. I don't know what that word is. It looks like hand or hard. They hated. Okay, that's what it is. They hated their family is what he drew. Gotcha. Of course, MelNetteLivingFreeZipCodeless does rock. She definitely does. All right, here we go. So they killed them. They hated their family, so they killed them. This is plain and simple as that in this kid's mind. Hippie says, their idols are a little bit off. You would think a serial killer would be influenced more by somebody like Captain Crunch. Gotta walk the dog, still listening, says Nursing Our Travel Bug. Thank you so much. All right. Let's see what else there is here. The end. They make it sound like it's just, this is the part that's blowing my mind, is we already talked about this as brothers killing their siblings, so that's terrible in itself. But then, like, this drawing, it's just making it sound like it's so simple. We hated our family, so we killed them. The end. No big deal. He drew like a child, not like an 18-year-old. Very true. Well, a couple of them survived, so they sort of failed. Yes, true. Gosh, I can't even imagine. I can't imagine that, like I said, doing this to a kid, but then being those kids that survived and knowing that it was your brothers that did this. This is blowing my mind. Blowing my mind. And he does very much draw like a little bitty kid. The plan was for the two brothers to quietly slit the throats of their other family members while they slept. They would then clean up the scene, dismember the bodies, and stow them in the attic until the ammo arrived. Didn't go as planned. Then they would set off on their spree where they would post pictures of their family's bodies to social media. But, as Michael said in the interrogation room, nothing went according to plan. They were going to show off the pictures of their dead family that they killed on social media. Thank God for the 911 call, or they would have finished off the other two. It's terrible. First, their 13-year-old sister came to the room the brothers shared right before they were going to begin. So one of them, it's still not clear which, lured her inside, where Robert slit her throat. But she didn't die right away. She started screaming as Robert continued stabbing her. Her screams woke up the rest of the house. From this point, the two brothers' testimonies are confused and, at times, contradictory. One or both of them began stabbing their mother in the hallway, but she fought them off and ran outside. Michael followed her outside and managed to wrestle her back into the house before finishing her off. Their father, too, had run towards the screams. Robert waited for him in their room and then stabbed him and slit his throat. Donald says, the The rest of the family lives in Florida. The two that did the killing took a deal for second degree in each case. Nomadic Hippie says that definitely would have topped Hannibal Lecter's Instagram feed. Nette said, I didn't include this, but their plan was to behead the youngest survivor. What? Why so much anger at the siblings? I know I'm not even talking about the fact that they killed their own parents. I don't know. That's terrible. But I don't understand why they're so mad at their siblings. Hippie says, this is probably the most disturbing and upsetting story yet. Yeah, I can't. Even if they were abused, even if they lived in a family that was abusive and just really messed them up, I can't get to where I even slightly understand why they hurt their siblings. I just don't get that part. Do you think that the siblings and the younger children were getting more attention from the parents? Even that, like, even if they were getting more attention, still don't, it's not their fault. I don't know. I guess I'm an adult thinking that way, though. I tried to think about it as a teenager. I don't know. Yeah, I'm still not getting there. But that is a good point. As Maggie said, good point, Hippie. That is a very good point. Then the two went looking for their younger siblings. Daniel, they stabbed in the back multiple times. Christopher and Victoria were hiding in the bathroom, terrified. Nette says, it's a pretty sad story, and it was hard to put together. I bet it was. I bet it was hard to sit and do the research on this one. This is devastating. So Michael knocked on the door and pretended to ask for help, saying, help, Robert's out to get me. When the two opened the door, both brothers descended on their two young siblings, stabbing them to death. Daniel is the one who called 911. I wonder if there's any stories out there where a family altogether became killers, kind of like a serial killing Brady Bunch. That, you know what? I wonder if that has happened. I know that they've talked about brothers. I've heard a couple of stories about brothers committing murders, like being serial killers together. I've heard of boyfriend and girlfriends and husband and wives. But I haven't really heard of any entire family going and doing something. Our epic RV adventure said, I looked this up and the father was abusive. Children's beliefs and behaviors are most vulnerable ages 2 and under. There was most likely mental health issues with the dad and then the boys. Our epic said, you can't make logical conclusions from those that are mentally ill. And then Maggie said they're pretty sure that there was a family of serial killers or murderers. Our epic said there's a TV series on siblings. Yeah, I remember a while ago there was a serial killer brother combo, and one of them was a security guard. And they were talking about how rare it was to find two people in the same family that were okay with the act of murder. So to find a whole family would be odd, but then times are changing, I guess. Now, on what our epic RV adventure said about the father being abusive and probably having mental health issues, therefore the boys probably had some mental health issues. I completely understand that. And making logical conclusions from those that are mentally ill. Very true. You can't take logic and apply it to someone who can't apply logic to themselves. However, I'm still stuck going, why did they hurt their brother and sisters? Their little siblings didn't do anything to them. But I guess maybe in their head they did. Or they're just in the way. But that's never going to sit okay with me. Or any of you, I'm sure. You're all probably thinking the same way I am about that. Our Epic RV Adventure said, It is tough to process why people commit crimes. That is why it is so popular on TV. Yes. Nettie says that it was for the number count. You're right. It has said that throughout the story, that they wanted to have a high number count. I can't. All right, let's keep going. I mean, this is so well thought out and planned. Help, Robert's out to get me. And then when they open the door, both brothers are there. You know, like, they had to have really, and I guess the notes and stuff show that too, that they really thought this whole thing out. Just tragic. Makes my heart hurt. Hearing the sirens, the two bolted out of the back door towards the woods. They had no plan. In fact, they weren't even wearing shoes. They dropped to the ground and attempted to hide, but police dogs found them within minutes. So they had a plan about how to kill their family and a plan to have ammo show up to the house, and so they had to kill their family, but they didn't have a plan to get away. Slightly overlooked that. Over the years, they probably removed themselves from the family, mentally disassociated. It's true. Very true. The brothers were arraigned quickly, both charged with 5 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. They both pled not guilty. Didn't think one of them would be able to call 911. That's true, because they were planning on doing it while everyone was sleeping. They pled not guilty, though. There was surveillance in the house, I thought they said. Robert and Michael. Robert, however, eventually pled guilty to all counts and was sentenced to life imprisonment without the possibility of parole. He is currently serving his sentence at the Joseph Harp Correctional Center in Lexington, Oklahoma. Their package of ammo was going to be delivered the next day. Yeah. That's just crazy to me. They got cocky. They thought they had a great plan and wouldn't need to escape. Very true, Tommy. Michael, still a minor, faced trial on April 16th, 2018. He was tried as an adult since, according to Oklahoma law, defendants ages 15 to 17 who are charged with first-degree murder must be prosecuted as an adult. You know, they're going back and changing that law, though. I'll talk about that in a minute. On August 9th, 2018, he was convicted of all counts and sentenced to 5 life sentences plus 28 years for the assault on his surviving sister. He was, however, given the possibility of parole because of his status as a minor. The earliest he would be eligible for parole would be in 2054, when he would be 54 years old. The house where the massacre took place, like most horrific crime scenes, was a sight of sorrow for the whole town. It was the worst killing Broken Arrow had ever seen. Maggie, I completely agree. Too many kids know the law and think they can get away with it. Very true. Very, very true. The city launched a fundraiser to buy the house. Then we'll have it demolished so a memorial park could be built. The fundraising effort was well underway when, a year after the murders, the house caught fire under suspicious circumstances. So the city demolished what was left of the burned out house, and in May of 2019, they dedicated a new park to the Bever family's memory. The Bever family's memory, as well as the first responders that night. That's another thing. Can you imagine all of those responders that came and saw the tragic, the kids? I'm stuck on the kids. I know I'm stuck on the kids, but I just can't imagine. And like being a police officer or a coroner or any of those people that had to go in and I just nightmares. Even with parole, I doubt that kid will ever get out. Nette said, I know it was a horrific sight. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of policemen and first responders and stuff that talk about the things they see on a daily basis that give them PTSD and nightmares, and this has got to be one of those worst case scenarios for those people that responded. Named Reflection Park, it has walking paths and a gazebo, and its flower beds serve as a stop for migrating monarch butterflies. Their surviving sisters have been adopted by a Tulsa family. Our Epic RV Adventure says they have to go eat. Have a nice dinner. Thanks for stopping in, our Epic. There's the nice park. It is a really pretty park. So, are you all as shocked as I am? Children killed their siblings, angrily stabbed their parents. But if I'm understanding correctly, because they wanted a high number of killings, and also they didn't want their family to intercept their ammo that was coming in. I'm mind blown. Nomadic Hippie says, I freak out when I come back to my vehicle and realize my cat barely missed her litter box. I can't imagine walking in on a scene like this story. Yeah. That about the laws. as far as kids being charged with crimes. Apparently, they have been working on changing the laws because they don't believe that kids that commit these adult type crimes when they are kids should be charged as adults. And this has kind of been a long standing feud or problem. But a lot of cases are now being overturned of people who have murdered when they were children and were given life sentences and have been in prison since they were teens, and they are now getting out. They are now having the ability to go up in front of a board and present why they should be released. There is one person who has a YouTube channel who was married to a guy who's been in prison his whole life since he was a kid, and she was fighting to get him out, and he got out because of this new law. I don't know where I stand with the new law. I do think that there are some crimes that kids commit and they can completely change. I also believe, though, if a kid commits a crime and they're in prison and they're around other criminals, they are learning more so how to misbehave than they are learning to behave. So I don't know. I think every situation is probably, each individual situation should be handled individually. Maybe not have a grand scheme, blanket statement of a law about this. But yeah, there are a lot of people now that are getting out as adults that were charged as minors being charged as adults that are now getting out. Tommy Treble says, it seems strange that we find a story like this so sad and disturbing, but on Halloween we paid walk-through houses that depict the same scenes, myself included. Exactly, Tommy. I think for me, it's not about the scene. For me, I think it's more about trying to understand. I think it's such a different perspective, a different way of people are handling things. When someone murders someone, that's so different from me, who would just be like, yeah, I probably am not going to talk to you again. I don't like you. You hurt my feelings. I'm going to go my own way. Versus someone who actually murders someone because they don't like them. You know what I mean? Like, it's just so vastly different. And I like to try to get into and understand why people think the way they think, not necessarily this scary. For me, anyway, that's why I like true crime. Please look into Dr. Jeffrey McDonald. He killed his wife and children in 1970 on a military base. Happy Place said, I think in situations like this story, they should be in jail for life. They knew exactly what they were doing. They knew it was wrong, and I don't care what their age was. Exactly. Happy Place, I agree. Definitely agree. That's why I think, like, every single situation should be evaluated on its own, not a blanket rule of, oh, well, you're going to be charged as an adult, but you can parole because you were a child. No. If they did something like this, they probably should not get out again. If they robbed a place and somebody accidentally got murdered in the process and they were there, then maybe they go before a parole board and you see what their behavior has been like, and they have a amount of time that they have to behave, or they have to have nothing on their books, or I don't know. I'm not a lawmaker. I barely speak English. We all know this. But yeah, I think every situation should be handled on its own, not blanketed. I think all toddlers should spend a little time in the slammer. That way, if they don't clean their... That's funny. Hippie says, if you go to haunted houses, Tommy, you're a lot braver than me. Ghost freak me out. Yes, Hippie Maggie says, this makes me glad I never had kids. Teenagers will make you glad you never had kids. Johnny's Journey, Tommy, not me, I'm scaredy cat. A hippie, if you haven't seen it, he had a live camera going in the morgue again yesterday, and there was a big, huge duck. The duck moved, a ball moved, a pipe was swinging. There was all kinds of activity, tons of orbs coming at the camera, and then a light went off upstairs where they were sitting all by itself. So it's some pretty cool paranormal activity over there on Nomadic Hippies channel. So hold on one second. One of them had a girlfriend that he met while he was in prison. So if you become a killer, it's a great way to meet women. I don't think so. I don't think I would try that route, hippie. All right. Well, thank you so much, Nettie, as always, for putting this together. I really appreciate it. It was fun. A lot disturbing, scary that kids do that to their own family. But I believe a story that was really should be told. It makes us think a little bit more. So I appreciate the story. I really had a blast with everybody today. I don't know if Dee is on next. But make sure you check out everybody that's been in the chat. If you haven't already, click on some people and go show them some love. With all that said, Hitchman said, bolts are going on my kids' doors so I can sleep safely. I sleep with my door open now that I have teenagers. My bedroom door has to be open. Dee is scheduled in an hour, says Happy Place Camping. Alrighty. I don't know if Jerry's going to be on. I think he's going to be on. I don't know. Nettie says they have a premiere tomorrow at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. Maggie is giggling at Hitch Up and Toe. Oh, man. Well, I had a blast. Check everybody out. There'll be lives tonight going on, so go check them all out. Thank you again, Nettie. Wishing you all much kindness and much love. Bye for now.